Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of First Person, our video interview segment weekly here at production of Press Pros Magazine and sponsored by the Buckeye Insurance Group in Piqua and their featured agency, the Coverman Dickerson Agency, representing Buckeye in Troy, Piqua, and Covington. We emanate again this week from the MAC, and that's Mercer County and Maria Stein, Ohio. We're talking with Alyssa Winter about volleyball, and of course the 3 state titles back to back for the Marion Local Flyers. First of all, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. This is kind of exciting for me because you're one of the very few 3-time winners I've had the opportunity to interview. Pretty exciting for you, more so, right?
Yeah, it is really exciting. It's been a fun 3 years.
I got to ask you the question, back to back state titles in volleyball, Alyssa. I wonder if you have had the opportunity to really fully appreciate that the way you should.
We have somewhat, but I always, after we win state, we're always thinking about the next year, like who's going to play, what's going to go on. It's just always on our mind. We're always focused on the next game, the next practice, the next year. So we do get time to appreciate it, but we're always focused on the next step.
I've talked to so many volleyball coaches, I've talked to so many football and basketball coaches who have won state titles, and they all say to be successful you have to develop a culture for that particular sport. This is a football school. This is a football area. The MAC, as we talked about, Mercer County with the great traditions here and at St. Henry and at Coldwater. Tell me a little bit about how you got started in volleyball and how that culture has come along so quickly at Marion Local.
Well, my freshman year, there was a bunch of seniors coming in. I think there was 9 of them. And they were all in club. They all were big volleyball players. And that was when we had all the tall girls, 6'4", 6'2", 6'1". And I think that's when it really got started. They all came in there and they knew we had never won a state championship in volleyball before. And they wouldn't be the first ones to do that. And I think that's where it all started, was them seniors coming in there and driving us all to do that. And then after that, it just went down the line and just keep going.
And the impressive thing that I hear from rival coaches is you guys have really got it going on already in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grades. The next group coming in your junior high is very talented. You're going to have it going on long after you're here.
Well, actually, my mom is the 7th grade coach in the junior high, so... And then there's Keisha Winter. She was a ex-volleyball player here. So we have really good coaches in the junior high. And then we do this youth league. It's 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and 6th graders. And they're all just playing volleyball on Sundays. So that helps out too, just being around the sport.
We're talking with Alyssa Winter of the Marion Local Lady Flyers. We're talking volleyball. We'll take this break for the Coverman Dickerson Agency in Troy and Piqua and be back to hear more about volleyball at Marion Local right after this.
The Coverman Dickerson Agency, with offices in Troy, Piqua, and Covington, is pleased to be the sponsoring Buckeye Insurance Group agent for this first-person interview. For farm, auto, and homeowner insurance, Coverman Dickerson is one of the area's fastest-growing Buckeye providers, with a history of service and competitive rates. And we're also an outstanding source of coverage for families with young drivers. For farm, auto, and home policies, call the Coverman Dickerson Agency, proud to represent Buckeye Insurance Group.
Welcome back, everybody, to this week's first-person interview with Alyssa Winter from Marion Local High School. I want to talk to you a little bit about the expectation of winning at Marion Local. As we talked about before the break, football has won 4 titles here in the last 11 years. Basketball has won titles in both boys and girls. Now you have won 3 back-to-back in volleyball. How great an expectation in the community here has winning become for athletes at Marion Local?
Well, we were always known in the fall for our football, which is great, but I think we've come and made our own tradition in volleyball too, and the MAC is really, really competitive. So every Thursday night, like tonight, we just go in there and play our hardest, and it's just, we have high expectations from everyone.
It goes without saying it has to be a great motivation, because you do not want to be the club or the particular sport that doesn't get as far or make the most of your opportunity. And I know Coach Goodwin has told me that before. When you know you got something special, you want to take it all the way.
Right. Yeah, Coach Goodwin has a lot going for him. And I know it's probably a big competition between football, volleyball. I know it is whenever we're at school, who wins, who loses, and if we would lose, we'd probably get mocked, or somebody would say something about it in school, all the football guys. So it's basically a big competition in our school. Who can do the best.
But it's a good and a friendly competition.
It is very good.
Good and
It
a
is
friendly
very
competition. Tell me a little bit about your volleyball team this year. Not as big as the team that won a couple of years ago, but yet I know you're athletic. You have to be very well coached and very talented. Tell me a little bit about the attributes of your team quickly.
Well, we have 7 seniors, and we all bring something different to the table. I mean, we used to be a big, tall team, but this year we're not as tall. We have one 6-foot person, and she's our middle. She's probably the tallest, and it probably goes down to like 5'11" after that. So we're not as tall as what we normally are, but our defense, we have a lot of back row girls that can play defense. And we can hit too. I don't think there's anyone out there that we wouldn't count on to get a kill at the end of the game. I
know you're a senior this year. I know you're a very talented leader on this volleyball team. Tell me a little bit about what the future holds for Alyssa Winter in terms of school and volleyball and down the road.
Well, after this year in volleyball, I will be playing at Ohio State for volleyball. I'll be playing back row. And I'm not sure what I want to major in yet. I'm thinking radiology, but we'll see when I get there, I guess. But I'm very excited for this year, and I don't want my senior year to end yet.
From an old Buckeye to a future Buckeye, best of luck to you.
Thank you.
And thanks for doing this with us this week.
No
Alyssa
problem.
Winter, our guest this week on First Person, a production of Press Pros Magazine. And again, a production every week here on PressProsMagazine.com. You can watch us from week to week with each week a new segment here. And we hope you'll join us. Again, for our sponsors, that's the Buckeye Insurance Group and the Coverman-Dickerson Agency in Troy, Piqua, and Covington. For Alyssa and the sponsors, have a great week, everybody, and see you again on PressProsMagazine.com.
If you are looking for quality insurance protection from a reliable company, sold by professionals, in communities like yours, that's what you'll get from Buckeye Insurance Group.
Buckeye Insurance Group, insuring the heartland.
To find your local Buckeye agent, visit buckeye-ins.com. Buckeye Insurance Group, insuring the heartland.
Insuring the heartland.